it's her first time doing webinar, but she's a well-trained teacher. And I told her that you can just talk what you normally talk about, because she have a big, strong passion for living with the natural energies. She's writing about it in her blog. She's doing books about it, how to tune in and connect with the energy. And I don't know anybody who is so passionate about really living and embracing the rhythm of nature. So I told her, you don't have to prepare, you just talk what you normally talk about. And her passion is, of course, feng shui and how you can embrace the natural energies in your home. So Kay, welcome. I'm sure this is people in Norway watching you, and it's amazing world though. Here we are sitting in Scotland. We could sit wherever in the world, and you're sitting there watching in Norway. It's fun. And I just have to say one more thing. This is a dream who comes true. I really hope to have people and friends that I'm working with visiting us in our group. So now I will try to close my mouth.
Yes. I'm waiting for my cue. Thank you, Nina, and thank you for your kind words. And thank you to all of you out there for this invitation to allow me to speak to you in this media, because it isn't a media that I am used to. So I greatly appreciate this experience too. We have a two-way street going on here. Nina and I have walked this path together for a long time now. We go back more than 20 years. We've been with Master Chan, our master, Grandmaster Chan Kanwa. Lots and lots of lovely, lovely stories, lots and lots of wonderful experiences we could share with you. But firstly, just to congratulate you on your decision to explore this path and hopefully to join us and walk this path, because it truly is a very, very special existence. As Nina said there, for me, it is my whole life. It is my 100% raison d'etre. It's 100% my whole being. Just to live with nature, to live as closely to nature as I possibly can. And this means to follow the examples of nature, to follow nature's wisdom, and to understand the power of nature. This is all what feng shui is about. We know traditionally we call this wind meeting water, where the wind meets the water. And as you walk this path, you will understand just what the significance of this has. You know, the wind and the messages that come on the wind, the water, and the changes that come in the water. I mean, many years back in 2007, when the tsunami wave hit the shores of the Indian Ocean, the elephants in Sri Lanka knew that there was something wrong in that earth energy the day before that tsunami wave hit. Such is the way with nature. The nature was already telling the elephants, and the elephants were listening. And so listening to nature, tuning into nature, is a tremendous gift, and it's a tremendous asset that actually comes to us 100% free of charge. We don't nature doesn't charge anything. We don't have to pay any subscriptions, any memberships. We just listen to nature and use nature's energy, and it really is an amazing gift if you can understand its language, understand the language of the energy. Energy, I think Nina's already covered with you, is very much like water flow, understanding the flow of energy, understanding the energy flow to your building specifically. This is the most important thing. Energy's flow to your building is feeding the people within that building. So the most important thing is to ensure a good flow of energy to the building. And the source of energy, we call this the source of chi, runs very much like water flows. Water flows from higher ground to lower ground. So we call this the topography of the land, or the form of the land. The form of the land is very important. If the if the land is higher, then the flow of energy will come from that higher ground to the lower ground. If you're sitting in a position where you can hold that energy, you can see the energy approaching on that slope, you can imagine that water coming towards you, then you have a good source of energy coming towards you. Energy varies. The value of the energy, the strength of the energy varies according to where you are. So If you're in a busy city, for example, you're not going to feel nearly so sustained as you are if you're taking more time out by the ocean or more time out walking in a forest somewhere, because you're not sharing the energy with so many people. In the city, there's just such a congestion of people, such a focus of people to share the energy around. So this is how we feel so much better after a day spent at the ocean, a day spent in the forest, than we will feel if we're spending a day in the city, coming back feeling somewhat jaded. Because there's just not been the energy to go around, there's not the energy to be sustainable, to sustain us. So this is important in considering the flow of energy to your property. How much nature you have around you is very important. If you have land around you, if your property sits on a plot of land, taking care of that land, taking care of the gardens, taking care of the trees, the shrubs, all of these play a major part in the quality of energy that's arriving at your property. We call this the source of qi, and it's valuable to have a strong source of qi to your property to sustain the people within. The Chinese believe that the property is just as much of a living organism as we are, and so it needs sustaining, and this is how we sustain it. We get this energy in, we get this qi, this flow of qi into the property, and it's as vital as the blood that's flowing through your veins. It's as important to the property to keep this flow of energy going. Once upon a time I was talking to a Chinese boy, and he said to me, well, surely you understand this. He said, would you leave an electrical cable trailing across your front door and your hallway for someone to trip over when they walk through the door? No, of course you would not. And this is how it is with energy, keeping the areas clear, keeping everything clear so that there's nothing to trip on, so that the energy can enter the home and sustain the people within the home. The source of qi can come from all sorts of directions. It can come from the road, it depends where you live, it can come from the ocean, it can come from a railway. It depends on the areas in which you're living. In flats, it can come even from the lift shaft. So this is something that is highly skilled. This is something that takes some time and some experience to understand where the energy is actually coming from. But it's very important to welcome it. No matter where it's coming from, it's very important to stand out from the crowd. So if you're standing in a busy street, if your home is situated in a row of houses all looking very similar, it's very important to make your home stand out. You stand out if your home stands out. You get a better source of qi. So maintenance is very, very important. Maintenance of the paintwork, maintenance of the gardens at the front, maintenance of the gate, your driveway, weeds growing up through the footpaths, broken paving, all of these things can distract the energy. That's a cuckoo distracting the energy.
Vi är I Skottland så där är lite gökur.
So maintenance is high on the list of priorities at the front of your property.
And maintenance, because this is in Norwegian, maintenance, meaning keeping everything nice and clean and tight. What I'm talking about, I think, in this model, the clutter. Keep it 100% clutter-free and open. That's what you mean?
Yeah. I mean, today we've been for a walk in nature, and we saw a very attractive property by the ocean, and there at the front gate is the waste bin.
So I'm jumping in a little because I think some of the words is
okay.
I just know who is not søppelbøtta. I'm translating a little because I think some of the words, if I'm not 100% sure, maybe people are. Okay.
So do not store your waste at your front door. It's very basic, but it's very simple. The front of the property, your facing direction, in general represents your future. So if you want a bright future, you do not want to see the garbage. Garbage also has this sticky energy around it, so it can collect. It can attract even more. Like attracts like. So again, there is an advantage to keeping everything well maintained and well cleared, because the more you feed a negative energy, the stronger that negative energy gets, and then consequently the subsequent consequences within the house, the stronger the challenges within the home appear. It may be health issues that it's creating, it may be financial challenges, relationship challenges. It can affect all walks of life, all aspects of life. So it's very, very important to play on the good, emphasize the good, and so distract from the bad. Never ever feed the negative energy. It isn't worth the effort. So at the front door then, we're looking after the property, particularly the footpath, ensuring that the paving is clear, that the area is weed-free, that the plants on the garden, either side of the path, do not overgrow the path. The path is clear.
Ikke ugress, ha det rent og fint. I'm just translating just some words. I don't need to do like here we have some French people in the course. They have to have translating every word. Okay. But I'm just jumping in once in a while. Yeah. Okay. You are actually used to have people translating for you.
So energy is very much like a child. So treat it the way you would treat a child. You want to emphasize the joy, the pleasure. You want to draw the child's attention in. So beautiful planting, colourful plants, colourful flowers, ornaments, fun ornaments, things in the garden that make the whole thing look attractive, that make it look exciting, all of which will again emphasize, make you stand out from the crowd, make you stand out from the garden next door, the house next door. Because one of the failings generally is to lose the chi. The chi, the flow of energy, the life force energy, approaches the property and then rushes off to the house next door. You have to ensure that that isn't happening. Strong fencing is also very important. Healthy fencing, well-maintained fencing, again, is very important. If the fencing is broken, the chi, the energy can fall through. It can leak through, and you can be losing the benefit of that energy. If you have steps at your front door, if you have railings at the front door, all of it needs to be kept clean and tidy, clutter-free, leaf-free when the leaves fall in the autumn. Keep those leaves clear. Keep everything as fresh and as vital as you can. Leaves are actually really, really naughty on holding energy down because they get damp and they hold that energy down. So it's very, very important to clear those leaves, particularly in the autumn season. So finally we get to the front door, and the front door to me is the most important aspect of the house. It's like having a healthy mouth. If you don't have a healthy mouth, regular visits to your dentist, you cannot eat the food, you cannot nourish yourself, and you cannot sustain your body. And it's just as important to have a healthy front door. So again, the letterbox is kept clean, then the door is kept in good order as far as the paintwork is concerned. Don't leave it flaking paintwork. And remember that energy works 24/7, so illumination of the door at night is also very, very valuable. Because again, the energy can notice your attention, attracted attention to your front door if you have it illuminated at night. The front door is a very important aspect, and it must not be too small. If it's small, again, the energy cannot get in. It's not allowing the energy to flow. So the larger the front door, the better. One particular important factor about your front door is that your front door must be smaller than your back door. Energy in must always be more than energy out. If energy out is bigger, if your back door is bigger, then you are losing the energy too quickly, you're not sustaining the house, and you will not sustain the family. So money will come in and disappear out just as quickly. Family health will be on the decline if you're not storing the chi. So very, very important, again, to keep that front door clear. The post on which the door is hung is also very important. You need to hang the door on the post from which, on the same side as which the energy is approaching.
Hvem side døra dette kan jeg forklare mer I webinaret på torsdag, men det hvem side døra åpner på. Ikke sant? Om de åpner på venstre eller høyre. Jeg skal finne noen bilder og forklare litt, for this is very important what you say.
Yeah,
I'm telling them that I can put in some photos and show later what you're talking about, because it's very, very important.
I know in Norway that one of the major challenges is that your doors open outwards and you're actually pushing the energy away, but I know that this is because of the weather, it's because of the snow, and there's not much that you can do about that. But if you have the opportunity, it's good to leave the door open as often as you can, so that again you're allowing the chi to flow in, if it is the case that your doors do open outwards. The front door is also valuable in terms of welcoming. So welcoming the chi, welcoming your guests, making the energy feel welcome. The American tradition of the front porch is such a favorite with me because it leaves an area in front of the door to store the energy. If you can have a step, or if you can have an area within that immediate area of the front door to store the energy, then this will again help to stem the flow, the disappearance when the energy leaves the property, and help to again keep it within, store it within. If it's a bit like eating a good meal, but the meal's not suiting you and doesn't stay in your system for very long, not wanting to get too basic or too graphic, but it doesn't suit the body, and so you don't get that nourishment. And the same will happen with the house. So the front door particularly is important with this porch aspect. I just adore this American aspect of the front porch, with the chair in the porch and the flowers, the plants in the pots by the porch door, the boots, the boot rack, all of these things that say this is a house that's functional. I mean, your house doesn't need to look like a picture book. Your house has to be lived in, and it has to be functional, but at the same time made to look welcoming. And this is first impression. First impressions count. Cannot stress this enough. Energy follows energy. What you create from the beginning is what you will continue to experience. So there is no better time, no greater time, more important time to make a good impression than, again, at that front door. So if you can't create a porch, if you don't have room for a step, then maybe a doormat. Sometimes you can find enough room to have a mat. The larger the better. We call this the chin. So the chin of the door, it's just to help the mouth, just to store the chi. It's a storage of energy. And it will help you with your finances. It will help you particularly with your health. So finally, we get inside the door. Inside the door, as welcoming as possible, the most important area is your entrance hall. It's got some massive responsibility. It needs to take the energy into the home, but it also needs to circulate the energy through the floors of the home, whether you're 1-story, 2-story, or whatever. You have to get that energy to circulate. And so an energy flow around the home, again, is just as vital as the blood pumping through your veins. It has to flow comfortably. If there are blocks in that flow, then again it will block the whole house. It will block the whole family. The energy flow around the house can be done in a number of ways. Surfaces are very important, keeping surfaces clean. Shiny surfaces are very, very valuable.
Surfaces, I'm not sure.
Surfaces, as in floors, as in the surface of
like tiles or wood floor or something,
yes,
keep that and not cracked and something.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Shine.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So surfaces, I mean floors or worktops, the kitchen work surfaces where you prepare your food. All of these areas, if they're bright and light, if they're shining, again, they reflect the energy around, much like a mirror, but we can't put mirrors throughout the house. So again, keeping everything clean. So if you have some crystal particularly is gorgeous to circulate energy because it reflects, it shines, it sparkles. It's common sense, really. I mean, I don't think I'm telling you anything that is blowing you away. It's just all very much common sense. But what will blow you away is the impact that this can have on your life if you can just maintain it and sustain it.
Helen, she's asking, does it matter which form the doormat has, round or square? They haven't actually had the 5 elements yet. They will have it in the next module, so they don't know. I haven't taught them about the form. You see here, Helena, she's asking, does it matter which the form the doormats are, round or square, and color?
No. You can enhance the energy at your door with different colors, but that is further down the line when you understand the energetic qualities in terms of elements that sit at your front door.
So, and that will come. So we will have the 5 elements next time. And we also, in this course, they also have the trigram.
Yeah.
So I think it's a little early. I don't think you understand it now, but so in general.
Shapes, the main thing I would say about shape is size, and in this case I say size matters. You know, the main thing I would say about that front door is as large as possible. Shapes can make a difference. Domed shapes, rounded shapes have an auspicious energy, carry an auspicious energy. I'm not saying you need a round door. An arch above the door can also help. But the square shape or the rectangular shape, if it's generous, can also represent money. It's a star that we use called Goemon. You'll learn, if you take your studies further, you will learn about the qualities of these stars and the shapes of these stars represent. And again, that can help to enhance your finances. So what Nina and I are trying to outline to you at this point is just the fundamentals, the basics on which you can build. And believe me, there is a mountain to climb. There's a tower to build here. A tower as tall as the Burj Khalifa in Dubai. You know, it is 20 years and we're still on a course here this week, you know. We're still learning. So it's a fascinating subject.
But Helene, we will have next module, we will have about during this course, you will learn more about the different directions, the different energies from the different direction, and then we put in also the shapes. So we will have a taste of it in this course.
So the question was shape and color. Okay, color. Color, we can't be general with colors. It depends. Sometimes you will learn about something called sat, and this is a negative energy, a poison energy that may be coming to your door, and it's very important when you learn about this sat on how to control it. It's not something to be terrified of. It's not something to feel that the world is about to end and everything's going to go wrong for you. It's a very powerful commodity, actually, once you can learn to use it. So that's something that we do control with color. So
because actually I have introduced the Shi and the Sangshi and the Satshi.
Have you?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
But not the elements.
No. Okay.
Only so this module we had Sangshi and Satshi.
Yeah. Okay.
So they have tasted. I don't know. They had the module. Is it Sunday today? Oh, they had it yesterday. So maybe they are not. They have not seen it. They're finished with it. But in this week's module, it will. I'm talking about the sunset Sangshi, which is the healthy Shi, and the Satshi that Kay is starting to talk about now. I start to open the box of it.
Yeah. There's a whole host of Satshi out there. Our skill is that we understand it. As feng shui practitioners, you will learn to recognize it, learn to recognize the influence that it has, and then you can learn to illustrate. You can learn to address it. Do you want me to illustrate a story with it?
Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah?
Stories is wonderful. It's actually, we have done 25 minutes now, so it's your time.
We'll finish
no,
with the story
I
on
think take this,
okay.
you take the story and then you can take some question if it's something.
I'll tell the story because we shared this story. We shared this story in Hong Kong. Nina and I were in Hong Kong back in 1997, I think it was, 1998. And we were out there with Master Chan, Grandmaster Chan, and it was the time of the handover. The British colony was being handed over. The Hong Kong colony was being handed back by the British people to the Chinese. It was something that had just been in the British colony British Commonwealth for many, many years, and the Chinese wanted it back. So Prime Minister at that time was Margaret Thatcher, and she was sending out our envoy, Chris Patten. Chris Patton's actually written a book on this. It's an interesting book called East Meets West. And they were living, Chris Patten and his family, the British ambassador, was living in Government House, British Government House, in the centre of Hong Kong at the time of this handover. And we were out there, Master Chan took us along to have a look at this property and to show us the building that had been erected in order to control Government House. It had been erected by the Chinese people in order to control Government House. And Chris Patton will categorically state that his wife and his daughter both got very sick after that building went up. And it was not that we ever had any intention of backing out of this or not handing this thing back, but it was not done in the most pleasant way. You know, the British came away with egg on their faces. There was no dignity left with it. The Chinese had really taken command of the whole situation. So this was a property that had been put up, a building that was much stronger, much taller, that had been put up. And then there was a corner on this property that had been directly angled at Government House. And then in the centre of Hong Kong, there's this amazing Bank of China, and you look at this bank and you think, what was that architect on when he's designed this bank? You know, what is he thinking? It's the most aggressive-looking thing you could think of. The angles and the metal that's contained in this design really does not look comfortable. And then you realise that this is just their way of controlling, the Bank of China, looking after their money and controlling the buildings around. So there is this amazing game of feng shui politics going on with the buildings in the harbour of Hong Kong. It's just the most phenomenal experience to witness. So thankfully, I'm sure you're not experiencing anything like this in your home, but you can sometimes get sat from trees. Sometimes there's sat coming from road junctions, sometimes there's sat coming from churches, all sorts of possibilities. So this is something that you, again, will recognise at your front door, learn to recognise at your front door, and learn to recognise how to control it. That's Nina's skill. She's going to put all that over to you.
So what they're doing, I'm actually...
Questions then?
Yes, a question, but I'm also telling them that you can stay in the middle of your front door and take a photo and put it into our Facebook group, and we can look at Thursday how it looks.
Okay. Yeah, good idea.
It's a nice way to connect with this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So is it somebody who has some questions? But you know, from they put a question till we see it, it take 1 or 2 minutes.
Yeah, of course.
So, but I think it's very nice to listen to you, Kay, and it's fun.
Yeah,
isn't it?
We've had a lot of fun over the years, haven't we?
But it's fun to sit and talk out things.
Yeah, the fun just rolls
nice.
on.
Yeah, I know that I know she can have a wonderful webinar, so that's why I'm dragging her here now to say you should do this.
Yes, Nina's been telling me for years to do these webinars.
So, because she has so much knowledge, and so that knowledge is good to share with the world.
Yeah. So how are you all feeling? Does anyone have any questions?
We see the questions there, but it's like it is, and it takes a little time. In the meantime, we have some fan club here. We can have some. We have from Africa and from Switzerland. Some visiting here looking. Yeah. So here, hello. No, you have to come here. Hello, from Africa. All crazy people here. And we are actually, how many are we on the course? 20? 18. With the masters. So, and we are learning and studying. Yeah. Never finished.
Yeah, we all belong to the Shui Foundation, which is Grandmaster Chan's Research Association. Nikki here is membership secretary. How many members do we have, Nikki?
230 members.
Come over.
Fantastic.
We have to see. 230 in how many countries? Many countries.
We've got 14 at the moment.
14.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So the word just keeps spreading.
Yeah.
No questions
I have a feeling it will come some question. It's a little slow, but it's interesting because we think it's slow when it takes a minute, but actually their message or your message, who's looking there, has to go out in the space, far out in the universe, up to a satellite, and then come down here again. Okay. So it's actually, but this is a little slow, this system. But I'm using it because it's a new system and it's developing every day. So every week it's getting better. So I think this is a good place to be.
Okay.
But
so
it's
to summarize then, take care of your future. Take care of your
door.
front door, your facing direction to your property. Take care of your fences, your boundary fences particularly. Don't have anyone overstepping the boundary in your life.
Grensesetting, ikke sant? Gjerder.
Yeah. And keep everything healthy. Just keep new plants. And next time maybe Nina will talk to you about the seasons and the joy of the changing seasons, because that is very much part of nature and very much part of our philosophy.
Yeah, it don't look like it's any questions there.
Shall we wind up then?
Yeah, I think so. Hello, is it anybody out there?
They will come on.
No, I can see that they are there, you know. You see the chat, but I wonder if it's something slow here. Or it's not easy to have questions about this, because but it's nice to have you speak about the importance of She, the freshness of She, and in our Facebook group, Kay's website, I have put your website there, so it's a link to, because she write this. Oh, here we have Helena. That's good. You are a little active here. But her website is there, and she's writing nice newsletters. So go in there and read what she's writing about.
Yeah,
what about the sign? Name sign on your front door. Can that do anything with the energy if you are letting through your front door? Sign.
Yeah. The sign needs to be as high as possible. It always needs to be above eye level. You need to look up to you. When the energy approaches the house, when your visitors approach your house, then they need to look up, to pay respect and to look up to you. So don't have a sign that's small, and don't have a sign that's low.
And I'm always thinking that Master Shan say, how can the energy find you if the people cannot find you? No. So it's important.
No, that's very true. Particularly for business premises, of course.
Yeah.
You know, again, more so than anywhere, you need to stand out from the crowd. So the signage is very important. The signage being high, and again, the colours then in that one will be also very important. The colours would be chosen from the 5-element cycle, which I'm sure you'll be learning all about in the very near future.
Next Saturday,
next week.
Next week we start.
Next seminar.
Yeah. Martina, I really like you to talk more. It's really interesting, but I don't have any specific questions right now. Thank you, Martina.
Okay.
Okay, what do you feel for, Kay? You like to go on for 10 more minutes or whatever?
I'll do another 10 minutes, and I'll do 10 minutes on nature then.
Okay, she take 10 minutes on nature, or something come into your mind, just write in there, okay?
Okay.
It's nice. We are. This is a gift from us. For all of us.
I mean, we are unique. We are unique because we have the privilege of learning from a master who has only ever learned from a master himself. You know, our knowledge has not been gained from books. Our knowledge has been gained from master to student, by word of mouth, by direct energy, not even at distance, but by in actual communication, in physical communication from master to student. So the questions can be asked, and if there's any misunderstanding, it can be cleared up before the student leaves the classroom. So it's a very, very reliable source of energy. We know our lineage. We can trace our lineage back for our masters before us, and our lineage dates back thousands of years. Some of the principles that we use and some of the formula that we use are more than 3,000 years old. They're very ancient methods. It's not new age. This is standing the test of time, and they're very, very reliable formula. So the questions are flying now.
No, they don't. They want to. It's too timid. Don't want to ask silly question to you, expert lady Cecilia. You're sweet.
Okay, so this quality of the information that we have is unique to the world. There's no one else in the world with the depth of knowledge that Master Chan has that is passing this level of information onto his students. There are courses that you can take up to professional level, but Master Chan's courses, once you have his professional qualification, go on to many, many advanced courses, all sorts of different fields that you can specialize in. So much like a doctor can decide which area of medicine he wants to specialize in, you can do exactly the same in this feng shui field. It is just a world of opportunity. And the second aspect of our style, this style that we use, the Chu style feng shui, is that we work 100% with nature. We work 100% with the movement of energy throughout the year, with the movement of energy throughout the day, and matching your actions to your energy, the energy of the time, is extremely valuable. If you go against the energy of the time, then you'll find that you're swimming against the tide. It really will take sustained effort to achieve your goal. But if you can work with the energy, if you can work in the way that the energy is flowing, then you'll find that you achieve your goals much more easily. So, for example, at midnight, this is the darkest hour. At midnight, then the energy is very, very weak. It's the yin energy is at its strongest. And at midnight is when we're all asleep. We just naturally follow that pattern. In general, we will be in bed and tucked up and refreshing our energy through the night. But then comes the dawn of the new day, at the moment very early, 3, 4 o'clock, I'm sure even earlier in Norway at the moment. You've almost got the midnight sun, haven't you? But yeah, the dawn of the day, the new day. This is the new energy. This is the freshest energy, the most vital energy. Sun rising in the east. So we pay an awful lot of attention and an awful lot of respect to the energy of the east aspect of the property, because this is the most vital energy. It's the freshest, most vigorous, it's the most energetic, most enthusiastic energy of the day coming in from the east as the sun rises. It's the newness, it's the freshness that makes the difference. And then as the day develops, as we come up to the midday sun, the sun gets to its strongest, this is when we're all at our busiest. This is when the energy is yang, the energy of the sun is bright, this is yang energy, the actions are yang, and we match our actions to the energy. We're following the pattern of the day, the example of the day. And then after midday comes the setting, what's it called when the sun goes down? The sun going down.
Sunrise. No, sunset. Sunset.
Sunset. Okay. Not quite after midday, but the sun starts to go down. And then we all start to arrive home. We get home in the evening. We sit together around the dining table. We have supper. We share our stories of the day. It's a much more relaxed time. The yin energy is starting to grow. The night is starting to grow. And so again, our actions match. Our actions are not nearly as active. We're not out on the tennis courts or the golf course or in some busy business meeting. We are now there with the family at a much more relaxed time. And if you can follow this course of action, then you will find that you have a much stronger quality of life, a much better quality of life. You know, go to bed as the night falls, get up as the sun rises, and it is the most invigorating experience because you are following the pattern of the energy. And then the year matches this same pattern. The year works in exactly the same way. In the winter time, we have much more longer periods of darkness and much less daylight hours, so we spend much more time indoors. Darkness is yin, indoors are yin. We spend all our activities there indoors, creating gorgeous meals, nice warming meals, or reading a book, you know, different things that would sustain us and keep us happy, studying your feng shui notes. All these things are very appropriate actions to be taken through those winter months. And then comes the spring and the energy starts to rise again. So there we are, the energy of the spring and the summer, the yang energy when we all want to be more active, when it's more appropriate to be active. If you try to sleep at this time, you're not going to sleep nearly so well. You're not going to get the sustainable sleep. Cuckoo doesn't want to sleep. And then up to the height of the summer, which is where we are almost now. We're just into June, and in a couple of weeks' time we'll be coming up to the summer solstice. And summer solstice is the absolute peak of the energy of the year. So your actions will be at their peak. Your actions and plans that you've been making over the autumn and the winter have been hopefully put into place through the spring, and now here you are really running and in the flow of the energy at the height of the season. The season comes this year, it's on the 21st of June, late evening, I think something like 7 or 8 in the evening this year, is the summer solstice. And then the yin energy is born. The yin energy is born at the summer solstice, when on the very next day the nights start to get longer again, the days start to get shorter. And so then the yin energy starts to grow. We take ourselves through to the autumn. The autumn we reap the harvest, and we start to store the food ready for the winter months. Storage again is yin. And then following this through to the winter months, when we can sit and make our plans and start to create ideas and use the mind, meditate, and plan the year ahead for the following year. This is the cycle of the energy, and if you can follow this cycle of energy, you will ensure a much better quality of life.
Thank you, Kay. I'm sure everybody enjoyed it. They're writing, but it's not. They just enjoy it, and I'm sure I'm applauding her, and I'm sure everybody's applauding. Applaud in the home, even if you can't hear it.
Thank you for the invitation.
Yes, and you find I have to do some in the Facebook group. I guess you saw that I put out Kay's website, and she's writing beautiful newsletters. Mm-hmm. So follow her newsletters and get inspired by her. Yeah. Yes,
register. Register on my website. I'd be pleased if you register to receive the newsletter. I put a lot of effort into my articles.
She's working so hard.
It's very nice if someone does at least read them.
Okay, and thank you so much. I think this has been are these ways to improve the flow of chi from the entrance and ground floor to the first floor. Inga, I'm actually going to, because we have a webinar, and that is better to talk when we have the photos and stuff. So everybody, we are having this soon, the webinar. It's Thursday, it's Sunday today, but the days goes fast. I'm actually taking a copy of all this, and I can see if I can answer some of them, and some of them from the next webinar when we have about the elements. Okay, so and the what's it called, the recording from this, I will send to you, and I will send to you as well. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Ciao. I wish you all well. Yes. Yeah. Happy feng shui.
Yes, we